Smartest parodies from The Boys TV series.
Oi.
The Boys has become one of the most watched shows on Amazon Prime lately, and there's no doubt that this show deserves the recognition that it is getting. It has an interesting take on superheroes, or as they call them, supes. The themes are incredibly dark and grotesque, and I don't just mean DC level dark, it goes way beyond that. However, something that has caught the attention of many fans is the fact that almost all the supes in the show are parodies of some of their favorite characters from Marvel and DC. The entire show and the comics are a direct parody of the superhero genre, and it is truly a brave move to take shots at the giants of the industry, but it is clearly paying off, and paying well. Some of these parodies are more obvious, while others need more analyzing, but if you've been a fan of Marvel or DC, it shouldn't be a task figuring out who is who. In this video, we will explore 12 amazing supes from the Boys franchise who are nothing but intelligent parodies of Marvel and DC characters. Let's begin, shall we? Number 1. Homelander. It would be a shame to begin a video based on the show The Boys without mentioning Homelander, who serves as one of the main antagonists in all 3 seasons so far. He's the character you can't wait to watch over and over again, and maybe one of the reasons is the fact that Homelander's character is a parody of Marvel's Captain America and DC's Superman. The one thing common between Homelander, Superman, and Captain America is the fact that they are all highly regarded by the public because of their abilities, looks, and charms, even though Homelander is a sociopath with a vindictive and evil personality. Clark Kent's origin story and Homelander's fake origin story also have some similarities, having grown up on a farm with 2 loving parents. Now, Superman is the direct counterpart that one would associate with Homelander, but Captain America might just take the lead if you sit and think about it. The militaristic and propagandistic aspects that encompass Homelander are directly relevant to Captain America. It's all about patriotism between the two of them, doing what they do because they love their country, but of course, Homelander is a sinister version of Captain America. One represents the best of America, and the other, the worst. Oh, and they both also have slicked back blonde hair. Number 2. A-Train. Before we go forward, please subscribe to us. Your small click will help us in a big way to create more videos. Let's continue. This speedster is best known for being a part of the Teenage Kix, is also a returning member of the Seven, and is the nemesis of Hughie Campbell after he carelessly killed Hughie's girlfriend. There's no doubt that the term speedster has probably given away the characters that A-Train is a parody of Marvel's Quicksilver and DC's Flash are some of the fastest superheroes that you have read about in your comic books or seen on the big screen and the small screen. They use their speed to help save people and do the right thing. And now, we have A-Train. He's fast, and he's also very evil and notorious. To begin with, the main similarity between these characters is that they can move at a lightning-fast speed. However, according to A-Train's fastest speed recorded in the show and the comics, Flash and Quicksilver are both faster than him. However, all 3 of them have an incredibly high metabolism which helps them complete tasks faster while also saving energy. Apart from their powers, one thing that puts these 3 under the same umbrella is the fact that they all belong to a superhero team. Quicksilver is often associated with the X-Men, Flash with Justice League, and A-Train with Teenage Kix and the Seven. Number 3. Queen Maeve. Everyone knows what Wonder Woman looks like, and that is exactly what Queen Maeve looks like. They both have a tiara that they wear on their foreheads, along with leather costumes with breastplates, with knee-high combat boots. Apart from how they look, both of these women possess heightened senses, although Wonder Woman gets it from her demigoddess physiology and not compound v most supes have fake origin stories, and so did Queen Maeve, claiming that she was once a warrior, and that story resembled that of Wonder Woman. They both possess super speed, and although Queen Maeve isn't as fast as A-Train, or even Wonder Woman for that matter, she is faster than humans and vehicles, which is still pretty fast. In The Boys show on Prime, Homelander is the only one who possesses the ability to fly, but in the comics, Queen Maeve can fly too, again giving her something in common with her DC counterpart, Wonder Woman. Lastly, just like Wonder Woman is second to Superman when it comes to super strength, Queen Maeve is second to Homelander. While there isn't any obvious Marvel counterpart of this character, you can still draw a comparison between Queen Maeve and Lady Sif of Asgard, who is one of the warriors of Asgard with an attire slightly similar to Queen Maeve. 4. Mind-droid. Although most people romantically link Soldier Boy to Crimson Countess, it was Mind-droid who was officially in a relationship with her, much like Wanda and Vision. Mind-droid is to the boys what Vision is to Marvel. In fact, the two even have a similar color scheme in their respective comics, with green, yellow, and red, even though the patterns might be different. Vision and Mind-droid both have a lot in common beyond their costumes and girlfriends. They are both incredibly intelligent androids with capabilities that surpass the human mind and have had to spend their lives working around humans and superheroes or supes. Just like Vision is a part of the Avengers, Mind-droid is a part of Payback. However, in the comics, just before Mind-droid is about to die after a failed mission, we learn something about him that truly shatters almost everything his comparison is built on. In his last moments, Mind-droid reveals that he's just a dude, okay? Those were his exact words. He had telepathic abilities, but that was about it. He was human, a dude in a suit. So, the boys gave us a parody of Vision till it didn't. Nonetheless, they at least have a liking for redheads in common. Soldier Boy. Hiring someone like Jensen Ackles to play Soldier Boy feels like a direct nod to Chris Evans, who played Captain America for the longest time in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. However, this isn't even the tip of the iceberg. To put it simply, Soldier Boy and Captain America were both super soldiers created to fight the Nazis in World War II, and they both ended up becoming military legends, and quite easily the face of the American troops in the war. Of course, they also have very similar costumes and carry a shield as well, which feels like a little cherry on the top. If Steve Rogers had an evil twin, it would be Soldier Boy. However, it isn't just Chris Evans' Captain America that he resembles, but also John Walker's, who had a brief run for a few episodes in the show The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Soldier Boy killed Mindstorm in the same fashion as John Walker killed a Flag Smasher, which was one of the darkest moments in the MCU so far. Lastly, while this might be a personal comparison, Soldier Boy is also a lot like the Winter Soldier. I mean, they both have soldier in their title, to begin with. Beyond that, they were both captured by the Russians and tortured, and even in the modern day are easily triggered. And a bonus, Jensen Ackles as Soldier Boy looks a lot like Bucky Barnes from the comics. Number 6. The Deep. The Deep is most famously the aquatic superhero of the group and serves as a comic relief character on the show. He is without a doubt a parody of DC's Aquaman. I mean, it's shocking they didn't just name him the Aquaboy or something. One of the biggest similarities that Aquaman and the Deep have, is that they can both communicate with all sea creatures, and have command over them, even though they both use this power for different things. Both these aquatic heroes have impressive swimming skills. While Aquaman was born with this ability and then trained to perfect it, the Deep was blessed, or well, cursed with Compound V again. As it has been done with some other characters before, the costume and color scheme are similar here too. They both comprise the colors green and yellow, and their suits are also tight enough to show off their abs, along with wearing boots and special gloves. Although they might have a lot in common and the Deep might feel like a cheap knockoff of Aquaman, they both have completely different personalities, and I am pretty sure Aquaman doesn't have a social media account. While there is no denying that the Deep is a parody of Aquaman, there are chances that his character has also been slightly inspired by Marvel's Namor, who is another underwater superhero. Number 7. Eagle the Archer? The biggest clue is in the name itself. When you think of the word Archer, which two characters from the Marvel and DC universe come to mind immediately? That's right, Eagle the Archer is based on Hawkeye and Green Arrow. Apart from being great with bows and arrows, and using them as weapons, Hawkeye and Eagle the Archer have something else in common, which are the elements of guilt and regret. Clint Barton has spent a fair bit of time in the Marvel Cinematic Universe blaming himself for putting his family in danger, and by Endgame, was often seen guilt-ridden for killing people and for his best friend Natasha's death. Similarly, Eagle the Archer goes through guilt and regret when he keeps losing people because of the limited number of arrows in his arsenal. This has to be one of the easier parodies when it comes to the boys, and maybe that's because Hawkeye is a simple character with his bow and arrow. It is important to note that Eagle the Archer had a darker storyline in the comics, where he is a staple, which was left out of the show, although people are unsure why, since the boys doesn't tend to hold back on their dark themes. Number 8. Kimiko. Kimiko, or as she is often referred to as the female, might not have been one of the main characters but still created an impact and made a solid spot for herself on the show. Now she too is a parody of a very popular and beloved Marvel character, but they have no physical resemblance at all. Not even a little bit. One is an Asian woman and the other is a middle-aged white man with claws. If you haven't guessed it yet, yes, I am talking about Wolverine. Kimiko and Wolverine share almost all of the same abilities. From super strength to ultra-fast reflexes, and they even have the same quick reflexes. It wouldn't hurt to give her some claws and maybe adamantium bones to help her survive longer and be stronger. If you're wondering if Kimiko has a DC counterpart, while we can't pinpoint one who can directly be linked to her, Lobo deserves a special mention, who is a parody of Wolverine, and hence, the comparisons between Kimiko and Lobo can be drawn. Number 9. Crimson Countess. If the name and appearance of Crimson Countess haven't given away which Marvel character she resembles, the fact that she dated mind-droid might be the biggest hint. You guessed it right, Crimson Countess is the Scarlet Witch of the boys' universe. However, the deeper we look into the character and their abilities, we realize that the similarities are only up to the surface. Crimson Countess was a member of the Payback, which are somewhat like the Avengers, just like Wanda or Scarlet Witch. One of the wildest scenes in Season 3 is when Crimson Countess accidentally kills a mascot, and if there's one thing we've seen Wanda do in the beginning when she wasn't completely in control of her powers, was kill innocent people, accidentally, of course. Apart from dating an android, the two also share a very similar red costume. It's almost like Crimson Countess' costume was designed to replicate that of Scarlet Witch. Wanda and Scarlet Witch have both reserved a special place in the Marvel franchise as compared to Crimson Countess in the boys' universe, who was easily forgotten after she was killed, much like she forgot about her loyalty towards mind-droid, as it was hinted at points that she often slept around. Maybe Crimson Countess could learn a thing or two from Scarlet Witch. Number 10. Tech Knight. Tech Knight is a mix of the billionaires of Marvel and DC. He's a little bit of Iron Man and a little bit of Batman. This character is easily one of the most twisted Supes in the history of the boys and has only been briefly mentioned on the show, as his character mainly exists in the comics, which is probably for the best. After an unfortunate brain tumor, Tech Knight had an overwhelming appetite for sex. I don't mean this in the charming playboy way that we view Tony Stark, but in a very literal way. He will have sex with anyone and anything. Tech Knight is a very crass and dark take on Iron Man and Batman, but they do have their similarities too. Just like Batman, Tech Knight as a butler, is a millionaire, and operates out of a cave in his mansion. He also possesses zero superpowers and relies completely on technology to fight his battles along with his robotic armor, just like Iron Man does. There is no telling if Tech Knight will appear in the show anytime soon, but there's one thing for sure, if he does, the dynamics will change and the show will only get darker. He also won't be loved anywhere near as much as Iron Man and Batman. Number 11. BLINDSPOT. This character was seemingly created for Daredevil fans and his popular series, which has been successfully streaming on Netflix. BLINDSPOT might have been a minor character on the show, but in the comics, he was one of the Butcher's most gruesome and brutal kills. It's shame that didn't translate to the small screen. Nevertheless, Daredevil and BLINDSPOT are both ninja-like characters, extremely skilled in what they do best. They are both blind, however, the loss of this sense has heightened their other senses. Even though Homelander did destroy BLINDSPOT's eardrums, it is possible that he was able to heal from it. BLINDSPOT and Daredevil are both super agile, which means they can perform acrobatic and gymnastic movements very easily, along with superhuman reflexes. So, more or less, these two characters have the same superpowers in their respective franchises. Interestingly enough, Marvel also has a character named BLINDSPOT, who is Daredevil's ally and also a blind vigilante. The boys' BLINDSPOT might have been slightly inspired by him too. BLINDSPOT's story in the show didn't last very long after Homelander called him just another useless blind guy, and then Vought seamlessly covered that up by saying he went missing on a mission overseas. Number 12. Vicor. Vicor hasn't appeared on the show yet, although this character might be an interesting addition, as he is more or less the counterpart of Marvel's beloved Thor Odinson, a Viking-inspired Supe, and the leader of the Children of Stormfront. Now Vicor's character is based around an incident that involves the Eternity Gauntlet, which of course is in itself a parody of the Infinity Gauntlet. The Butcher tries to extract some information from Vicor, and Hughie gives him intel that he has a video of Vicor pleasuring himself using the Vicor's defense was that he did it out of curiosity, but it makes for a funny storyline nonetheless, and one that fans remember Vicor by. Eternity Gauntlet. The reason Vicor and Thor are similar beyond looking alike and having a similar body structure is the fact their names both end with "or", making them sound similar. They are both incredibly strong and very hard to kill. Butcher tried killing Vicor at one point but failed miserably, although he did leave a mark. Vicor lost his wife, and Thor lost Jane, spoilers if you haven't seen the new Thor film yet. Despite all these little similarities, they both are two very different people, but there is no denying that Vicor is a parody of Thor. That was all in this video. Do hang around for more awesome content on your favorite TV shows, movies, and comics. Stay safe, and have a good one.